Welcome to this training on informed consent in the Comprehensive Class Member Transition Program, provided by the UIC College of Nursing. This training will enable Comprehensive Program staff to understand and explain the informed consent document, obtain informed consent from class members, and respond effectively when class members cannot provide informed consent.
Informed Consent, Policy P1.02.
The Comprehensive Program Policy states that class members must be fully informed of their rights and how their information will be shared within the Comprehensive Program before they begin the transition process. The informed consent document is the method by which the program ensures that class members understand this. Agencies are responsible for obtaining informed consent when they initially engage with the member during the outreach process. If a class member or their guardian refuses to or is unable to provide informed consent, the member will not be able to proceed on with the comprehensive program. There are a few key definitions to understand with regards to informed consent. In the comprehensive program, the informed consent date is the date that the agency staff met with the member and obtained the class member and/or guardian's signature. A legal guardian is an individual appointed by a judge to make decisions on behalf of a class member. This is not the same as power of attorney. The concept of competency can be challenging. If a class member does not have a court-appointed legal guardian, the class member must be legally competent to provide informed consent. This means that the class member must be able to know and understand what they are signing. If a member has a decline in cognitive abilities, like dementia, Alzheimer's disease, or other cognitive impairment, they may have poor insight or be unable to understand the information in the informed consent document. They should not sign the document since they are unable to understand it. However, not all individuals with early dementia or psychotic disorders are automatically incompetent, and they should be properly evaluated by a qualified professional. A key factor in obtaining informed consent is understanding the content of the document fully. Understanding the document is necessary to be able to explain the document to class members or their guardians and to answer the questions posed about it. Comprehensive program staff should all read and understand the informed consent document in its entirety, but some of the key elements are listed in this training.
The General Information section of the document explains the purpose of the informed consent. By signing the document, the member is agreeing to be evaluated by a qualified professional to determine what supports they need to live safely in the community. Their needs, strengths, and abilities will be discussed as part of the evaluation process. If the member proceeds to transition, staff will engage the member in the development of a comprehensive service plan that details the services and supports the member will need to be successful in the community. Comprehensive program staff will also help the member to find housing, coordinate needed services, provide support, and monitor the member's progress. The informed consent document goes on to review the eligibility requirements, responsibilities of the member, and the member's rights. Transparency and disclosure by the member throughout the transition process, but particularly in the assessment phase, is crucial to identifying the member's supportive needs in the community. Comprehensive program staff should strive to foster rapport and communication that support these elements.
The member agrees to share their medical records and other important documents related to their needs or services, and acknowledges that these will be reviewed by the comprehensive program staff. All rules and laws regarding confidentiality, including HIPAA, will be obeyed. The member will be given copies of documents explaining their rights, the appeal process, and how to file a complaint. This is covered in the comprehensive program fact sheet and the Rights and Appeals document. The member does not lose any of their rights in the nursing home or SMRF because of their involvement in the comprehensive program. If facility staff or anyone else tries to pressure the class member not to participate in the program or to stay in their current facility, the class member can report it to the comprehensive program staff or the facility's assigned ombudsman. Retaliation against class members by facility staff is not permitted. IDPH will investigate allegations of retaliation and take corrective action if necessary. The final section of the document discusses how the member's information is shared and used, and the surveys that are conducted as part of the process. The member is consenting to share their information with individuals or organizations associated with the comprehensive program, including entities outside of their direct care providers. Some of the organizations included in this scope are the Consent Decree Plaintiffs and Court Monitor, the UIC College of Nursing, Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services, the Department on Aging, the Department of Public Health, other comprehensive program providers, and housing locator and service agencies. Outside of this group of entities, the member's information will not be shared without the member's written consent. The member also acknowledges that they may be asked to answer surveys or participate in interviews about their experiences. However, these are optional, and the member can decline to participate without affecting any of their other services. The procedure for obtaining informed consent begins with a verification of mental status and competency. The goal is to make sure that the member is able to legally consent. If the member has a guardian, it is important to identify that entity at this point in the process and make contact with them. Staff should verbally review the informed consent document and its contents and ensure that the class member has enough time to also read the document in its entirety. This information should be provided in the member's preferred language and method of communication. Be sure that the class member understands that they have a right to change their mind about the comprehensive program at any time, even after signing the informed consent. They can communicate a change in decision to their comprehensive program staff at any point. The member also has the right to refuse to sign the informed consent document. They should understand that their refusal to sign the document will mean that they do not move forward in the comprehensive program. Be sure to fully answer any questions the class member may ask, and provide plenty of time for questions while reviewing the informed consent document. If you do not know the answer to a question, you should find out the answer and communicate it to the class member before they sign the document. Finally, after ensuring that the member or their guardian has no further questions and understands the document, you can obtain their signature. If a class member has a legal guardian, the legal guardian's signature is required in order to be effective. The informed consent document requires a witness signature. This should be the person obtaining the consent. However, if the member is physically unable to sign the informed consent, they can provide verbal consent if two staff from the prime agency or the nursing facility or SMRF sign the document as in-person witnesses. Clearly note on the document that the member provided verbal consent that was witnessed by these two individuals. The document should also note the reason why the class member was unable to provide a written signature. After signing, the class member and/or their guardian should receive a copy of the informed consent document for their records. The informed consent document, along with the other outreach documents, should be submitted to the web app within 2 days of the initial engagement.
Current versions of all comprehensive program policies and forms, as well as educational resources, can be found on the Colbert-Williams training website managed by the UIC College of Nursing. Any questions can be directed to the Colbert-Williams Help Desk email listed on that website. Thank you for your attention and efforts to ensure safe and successful member transitions.